And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us. It is raining cats, dogs, and alpacas outside at the moment. That's okay, because I'm a nerd. And I like to spend my time inside, where I belong. Speaking of places where I belong, we're back with episode 3 of Beckoned Blackest night. And I couldn't think of any better place to be on a Monday night. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Not much.
Thumbs up.
Living the dream.
How are y'all doing? You
Busy
good?
week.
Good?
Busy.
Busy? What you been up to?
Tell us about it, Christian.
Okay. Guess my partner went to New Zealand sort of impromptu. So she's been there the last week and to visit family and to go to the wake of a sort of like Maori tradition. They all slept in the hall together. It was really beautiful. I wasn't there. I saw pictures. And I have been spring cleaning. Our garage has been a mess for probably 3 years. And the car has, because it's got a lot of like our business stuff and just crap that we can't have around the house and camping things. And beach stuff and whatnot, and I've cleaned 80% of it, and within maybe 2 more days I can finally fit the car in the garage, and that's so nice. It feels so good.
Hold on.
Well
As
done.
someone that's done the same recently, I'm 100% on board.
It feels so good.
That's awesome. It's a massive feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, cleaning buddies. We had a whole bunch of stuff sitting outside in the garage as well. Well, like our garage is sort of open air because when we moved into this house, it was already furnished. So we had a bunch of stuff that had nowhere to go. There is actually a shed where we could have put the stuff, but it's locked. And the owners were like, nah, we're not going to let you put your stuff in there. Like, all right, it's been sitting around for a while. It's stuff that we didn't really need. And I finally actually got around to taking some stuff out to the tip, mostly because it's flooded a little bit in our house, which is not good. So I guess a little bit of escapism for you and I, Christian, and Jem as well, is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So we can escape our situations and delve into the happy fun land of Barovia.
No shit. It's like, let's leave real life and go into a horror fest.
Let's do it.
I like going to our happy place. It's nice.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Happy place.
there's no place happier than Ravenloft. It is known for its
happiest place on earth.
It's known for its beautiful sunrises, pristine white beaches, and phenomenal and eldritch horrors. Yeah.
Come for the vampires. Stay in the fog. No, seriously, stay in it. You're gonna die.
Speaking of eldritch horrors and horrible, horrible things, there's not going to be a Bants topic tonight because I thought we just launched straight into it. We're getting into the thick of it. We're like, I don't want to delay anymore. I just want to get straight into it. So we'll do a quick recap, and we'll just launch straight into some gameplay.
Awesome.
So, on that note, I need you all to put on your imagination helmets. Cover your eyes so that you see nothing but the images that are conjured up by my words.
You could be really evil now. You could be super evil.
I'm always super evil. Really cover them up. See, I want you to block off the real world and just dive into this realm of imagination that I'm gonna paint for you with my oil painting words. This tale began, as so many had done before, in a quiet roadside tavern, where the 5 of you had gathered to seek refuge from the bitterness of the weather. It's in this tavern where you met a stranger, a man whose dress and accent marked him as foreign to these parts, who introduced himself to you as Arigal, bringing you together and offering you a chance of employment, explaining that he had recently inherited a home from some distant relative who had passed within the village of Barovia. But that the house was apparently haunted and he needed you guys to clear the house before he could claim his inheritance. You agree to the job. And before he even tells you what you're going to get paid, you try to shake him down for more money. Fujin, you had a bit of a bad dream about some bats and shit, and the next morning you leave the inn following Arigal's directions. The five of you delved into the mists and deeper into the woods, coming across a massive iron gate flanked on either side by these huge, headless statues. Now, Thana, incensed by the idea that the mist concealed some sort of undead secrets, you dove into said mist, followed by Fritz, who could never let an ally possibly face danger alone, and the two of you failed some saving throws, inflicted with a point of exhaustion each. And after attempting to drive back the mist with a cantrip, you both decide discretion is the better part of valor and rejoin your compatriots, continuing on your journey. Not long after, you notice the smell of decay coming from somewhere within the mist-shrouded woods, but you decided not to risk any further injury and just moved on. Arriving in the village of Barovia, at least that's what you think it is, as the whole village seems to be enshrouded in this otherworldly fog that's been following you everywhere, which conveniently guides you down its muddy streets. As you pass between the boarded up houses and seemingly abandoned buildings, you can hear the faint sounds of a woman crying. Muffled by the dense fog that surrounds you, you push on and the sound begins to fade away.
I can't concentrate. I'm just looking at Mod.
That's why I said close your eyes. I did warn you.
He did.
I've had him covered the whole time.
I can mute him. Now you find yourself standing in front of a 3-story house. Now, on the outside, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about the house. It's just a simple but well-built stone affair, with 2 windows facing the street and an iron gate that leads into a 10-foot wide portico that features a pair of lanterns mounted on the eastern and western walls, and an unremarkable wooden door fixed with a black iron knocker. There are also 3 windows on the 2nd floor, 2 on the 3rd floor, and a small window right at the apex of the roof, seemingly suggesting that this building has an attic. Bill Irondown. So you were the last person to approach the house, so you were still standing more towards the street watching everything going down, as I couldn't figure out why the light wasn't working in the virtual tabletop. And when this was happening, you swear that you saw some movement in the curtains of that topmost window. Now, we've got to do a little bit of housekeeping here. When we ended last episode, you had opened that iron gate, giving you access to this portico. It's 10 foot wide and 5 foot deep. There are a pair of lanterns, one on the east and one on the western wall. And then there is a wooden door, seemingly the front door of this building, leading into the house. One more thing I should say. If you sort of look at that artwork that I have on the virtual tabletop there, you can see that above the iron gate, there's another floor with a window. And then above that, there seems to be like a small balcony. So that's sort of the situation that you're looking at the moment. I think now might be a good time to maybe in character, maybe out of character, talk about how you're going to approach this situation and what strategies you might employ, who's going to go first, but don't let me play your characters. I'll hand it over to you to take it from there. What do you guys want to do?
Just to clarify, DM, because obviously we had roleplayed walking into the entryway, but it looks like from the art, this is where, correct me if I'm wrong, is the portcullis front door down or up?
Well, the art is a little bit misleading in that it looks a bit like a portcullis, but what it actually is like an iron bar gate. And it swings open. You sort of pushed and it swung open, no resistance at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so inside of there's this 10 foot wide, 5 foot deep sort of undercovered area pair of lanterns flanking on either side, and a wooden door that seemingly leads into the building proper.
Well,
So we're not in there yet, are we?
No,
No, we're like a little tunnely thing.
we're
Yeah.
literally just about to walk in, because I think what we'd ended with, and I'll probably start up with exactly that, is if the door swings open and allows entrance. Fujin was instant thought if no one's answering the door, then we need to go in and find them, with no sort of social awareness whatsoever, and so just enters this person's house.
All right, so Fujin taking the lead, you step into that portico area and up to the front door. And you're just going ahead and just opening up the door?
Yeah, well, we gave a knock and there was no response or anything. And so in Fujin's mind, we need directions. Someone's in the house, there's lights on, we heard like the crying. And so I don't really care why she's crying, I just need directions. So I'm going straight inside.
One thing that I should clarify is when you heard that crying, it was actually when you were entering into the village. As you headed, like you came into the village, you came up to an intersection. The crying was coming from ahead of you, but the fog had sort of blocked off that road, that street, sort of funneling you towards the right. And as you headed in that direction, it sort of faded into the background. So you don't think that crying is actually coming from this house. It was coming from somewhere else, but just being muffled by the mist, it was kind of difficult to tell where it was coming from.
Yeah. No problem. I'll still enter the house. If obviously the house is like the fog's acting weird, burning people, and there's crying that we don't recognize, like I really want answers. So the lights are still on.
Taking the lead is old brave Fujin. Maybe setting the tempo here for us moving forward. Let's rewind it back for a second. I imagine we're sort of looking at this like from a very close up. We see your hand, Fujin, as you grab that iron knocker. Dung, dung, dung. And that sound of the knocker echoing on this wooden door sort of reverberates around this portico. You wait for a moment. There's no response. And I imagine that's when Bill, maybe you see that curtain move in the topmost window. Fujin, you wait a moment, you look back towards the rest of the crew. I imagine we're seeing this sort of over your shoulder, but you turn back towards the door and you pull down on the door handle and push it open. Stepping into the room, and as you enter, you can see you're stepping into a 10-foot wide foyer. On the eastern wall, you can see there's a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, a stylized golden windmill on a field of red, flanked by a pair of framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Set into the northern wall opposite the front door is a set of mahogany-framed double doors set with panes of stained glass windows.
What's the family crest again?
It is...
Well, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but what is the family crest?
Yeah, a stylized golden windmill on a field of red.
Oh, that's fancy.
Okay, so it's not the same as the coin, which is... Obviously, this family isn't like the most important family, otherwise they'd have the same as like the coin mint.
No.
As a guess.
What
Not
I
that
can...
Fujin's that intelligent.
What I can tell you, what you can tell by the houses that you've seen as you've moved through this village, this unknown village, compared to this one's, you know, a lot nicer than the ones around it. Mostly you've passed these sort of run-down, single-story, ramshackle wooden buildings. A lot of them you could see had boarded up windows, boarded up doors, seemed abandoned even. This one is much nicer. It's a stone building. Much more intricately detailed and taller than most of the other buildings. So whoever lived here was a person of stature of some sort. A king? No, definitely not. But someone of note. And these two portraits that you see sort of confirm that.
Can I do a history check, even though it's probably going to go very badly because I have nothing good going on? Just to see whether I know anything about what's depicted on the crest,
Yeah, you're making
or
your way
even
inside.
what's on the, or what the red is in the field of red. Is it poppies? Is it produce? Is it blood? Like, is it? I want to be able to look closer at it. Would that be history, perception, insight? What would that be?
If you're trying to identify what this coat of arms is or what this crest represents, it'll be more of a history check. If you're trying to find some more hidden details in it, I would say it would be an investigation.
Okay, well, I'm wanting to do an investigation.
All right, roll that investigation for us.
A 9 at -2.
A 9 minus 2, so a 7.
We're all
Look,
done up.
you
That's great.
Oh.
you follow Fujin into the house. Maybe you hear the padded footsteps of your wolf companion, Bright Eyes, as he steps into the portico and sits down, sort of looking at you. There is some light, some of the ambient sunlight sort of trickling through, and like even when you're outside, the light of the day is very muted, dim. It's still bright light, but it's like the sun is hidden by a dense cloud cover. It's cold, so there is some light filtering in here, but with a 7, you don't notice any more details than what is apparent in front of you. It's very obvious to you. It's very stylized. There's not much detail to be gleaned from this. It's just a stylized golden windmill on a field of red.
While this is all happening, can I just go up and bring the horse up with William on it, if possible, towards the house to tie the horse off?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's the house is surrounded by this iron
Big
fence all the way around, so I imagine you can probably tie him off to that. So you secure your horse.
Tane, there's those shadows. See where that light is?
Up
light?
there, up in the window.
Those shadows say, I think there's someone in the house.
I wonder why they're not answering. It's a little weird. Anyways,
It's for stories. Maybe the help went home.
help.
It's
Oh,
like
yes.
a
Yes.
butler or a maid or
Butler,
something.
yeah. No, that makes sense, but we should probably keep up with the others just in case. And I
Well,
sort
they
of
should.
tie up the horses, or the horse, sorry, and I say, now listen, Soprano, you stay here and you neigh if something happens.
The
And I give
horse
Tony Soprano a bit of a pat.
raises an eyebrow at you, leans into the pat, secured to the fence. You're pretty sure it'd still be there when you come out.
Pretty cool.
I like
Oh
those
no,
ones.
he's an animal companion. He's fucked.
You'll be right.
Not that he has the best history to know that, because this is like intelligence to know that if this was the house maybe looking for in like a drawer for some sort of like ownership or something might be important. But one thing that does stick with Fujin being a hunter, I guess, more animalistic, is that this guy said that the house we're looking for has rats in the walls. Not sure, and that obviously might have also just been a metaphor, but he's going to take it very seriously and would like to go to one of the, I guess, main walls with either next to the family crest or next to a door, and just do a perception check and try to like very faintly listen if there's anything moving inside the walls.
Are we learning a little thing about Fujin's personality? Does he take things very literally when he's told them?
Yeah.
So he's like me? Okay. All right, roll a perception check, and that's listening. What I will say is, for this front foyer area, the lighting situation, I would say, is probably going to be dim light with the light filtering in. Beyond this, it'll likely be darkness. But with a 10, you're just listening, so light doesn't factor into it. Yeah, you feel like you're listening, you're pressing your ear up against the wall. You feel like you can hear a little bit of a... I don't know if you can hear that. A little bit of scratching behind there somewhere.
Allow me. I'm just gonna cast Dancing Lights. And I'll try to cast it. Last time I did it got snuffed out. And put one in each corner of the room.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. No, you cast Dancing Light. How does Dancing Lights usually look like for you? Just quickly.
So I guess it would just manifest itself into tiny little flames, blue flames. Since we're going for the white light blue vibe with Thana. So yeah, just tiny little blue flames, balls of flame. And she just kind of like puffs them out and sends them into the four corners of the room. I was like, oh, that should be better. Better. Oh my god, that was so British. That was really British. It went from like here to here. Jesus Christ.
That's better, isn't it?
Better. That should be better.
I'm a chimney sweep.
Thana said all that in character in front of all of us. We're all just sitting there and Thana's like, that sounded British. Everyone's just like,
but yeah,
so British?
yeah.
you cast the spell, you do, all right, and appearing in the four corners of this room, you see these four lights begin to manifest themselves, but they're not what you expect. They manifest themselves in that same sickly, dull green light that you saw in Fujin's lantern.
Oh, well, that's a tad unusual. They're usually blue. Again, so British!
I've passed it on to you. You're welcome.
Help me!
Alright. So those who have entered the building, I'm counting Fritz, Fujin, Thana, have you gone in as well? Are you casting this from the doorway?
She's kind of just poking her head in.
Poking her head in?
She's a little bit tough because of
Right.
the fog.
Yeah, come on, move on. We're all going in now.
Alright. Tane,
William and Tane are coming in behind you, and we're in the doorway.
Okay, she's in now. She's
Alright.
in
Come
now.
on, let's go. You can't stop in the doorway.
So everyone's piling into this small foyer. 10 foot wide, 15 feet long. Another wooden door at the end of the doorway. I imagine
Please tell me
Fujin,
it doesn't open inwards.
you're probably gonna
I'll
try the next door.
standing at the door
Mhm.
before trying it. There's no, I guess, chance in his mind that another house could have rats in it. This is obviously the one that we're looking for. Sort of like, I guess, like a very ADHD instant just assumption. Turn back to the crew. Rats in the walls. This is the place we were hired for.
This seems oddly small to what he was describing. I feel like we're looking for something a tad bigger, maybe. Just a thought, though.
What did he describe?
A manor. Look, I realize I grew up in a cloister, but that cloister was in a castle. So I think we're looking for a bit of a bigger building.
This is 4 stories.
I don't think this is the building we're looking for.
The next door neighbor only had 1 story.
First world problems. I'll turn towards the door to open the house.
All right, so I see the chat's clamoring for a map here. So let's take it to the map. Let's take it to the map. This one's for you, Kasubi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't know if I am. Call in if I'm not.
Hayasubi. Kawasabi.
All right, you should be able to see that map now. Everyone can see that. You're sort of all piled into a foyer there. We've got Bright Eyes and Thana sort of hanging out at the back. You can't see it?
No, I'm in the foyer. No, it's okay.
Okay.
We're just not in the main part. It's all good.
All right.
Yeah, food.
Just zooming in by about 10,000.
Take that first step.
Boom! You open that door, stepping straight in. The house explodes. And you all go, no.
Good campaign, everyone. Right up, new characters.
I'll move my way in so that everyone can make their way in.
Yeah,
Although, because
I'm following
food
Fujin
assumes
closely.
this is the house, he's going to not be stealthing. Instead, he's just going to have a ready to attack the entire time. Fujin's aggressive rather than quiet.
All right.
I think I left Bright Eyes behind, so I'm going to bring him.
I can't enter.
All right. I'm just
Now-
gonna.
Sven,
Is
before I
this
start
holy
clicking
ground?
stuff,
Oh, you just drag yourself because the doorway's coding is in the middle, whereas your tokens
Yeah.
are only allowed to move on the left or right.
Yeah, I'm
It says
trying
game
to-
paused.
I've
Waiting
paused it for you
DM.
there, so just so we can go over this in a narrative fashion. Just let me know what everyone's doing.
Okay.
Fujin has already said he's announced that he's walked into the building. Looks like Tane Nui has sort of followed along behind him. So let's go across the board here. Bill, where are you at?
I would say kind of right where his token is. He has a bit of a view of the hall. He's looking for Tane to kind of give the all clear to say, yes, we can progress.
Okay.
He didn't tell him this. This is just his expectation now that he...
Fritz.
Yeah, Fritz is wondering where Bright Eyes has gone, but he's also going to follow Fujin into the room and probably put himself in one of the corners of the top.
All right. Fritz moving into the room as well. Bright Eyes following along behind. So you're moving into one of the corners at the top. And Thana, you hanging behind? You're moving your way in?
Yeah, Thana's in the back, and she's casted, obviously, oh my god, I can't talk right now. She's casted glowy dancing light things.
Ah, yes.
And she's, as I said, she's just sent it into every corner of the room, but you said it is not working properly.
All right, your dancing lights, how many, and what are their light radius on those?
Let me just get the spell up. I do.
The comment in chat to delete as well, Sven, on your sec.
Yeah, I'll have to try and get around to that. I'm kind of got 1,000,000,001 tabs open.
oh, I've got a ban. I can click ban.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, do it.
Torch-sized lights.
Yep. 4 torch
And
lights.
that's helpful. 120 feet.
120 feet
that it?
apiece. All
Yeah.
right, I'm just gonna put a torch there. I will.
Oh, sorry, I lied. 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius. Is that 10-foot bright, 10-foot dim?
It just says. Hang on, I'm just reading. Yeah, it's just 10-foot radius. It just says 10-foot radius. So I would assume 5 bright, 5 dim.
Okay, so essentially a candle. So we're gonna put that there. You should be able to see. I'm just gonna put one on there for now. If it comes a time where you want to make multiple ones, we can deal with that. But this is setting enough room, I'd say, if you spread them out throughout the room, in order to make enough bright light in this room for you guys to be able to see what's going on. And as you enter into this wide, 35-foot wide and 15-foot across sort of hall, you see built into the western wall, there's a beautifully, but somehow like hauntingly disturbing black marble mantelpiece, or fireplace rather. And mounted above that, you see a slender longsword with the cameo of a windmill worked into its hilt. The wood-paneled walls are ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs, however you pronounce that. The decorative paneling follows a spiral case in the eastern end of the hall, which winds up to a second floor. Beside the one you came through, there are 5 other doors in this room. There's 4 on the northernmost wall, and then there's one in the south, just to the east of the one that you came through, that's leading back towards the front of the building. I'm going to go ahead and unpause that for you guys now. When I find where the button is again, because I kind of forgot. There it is. Okay. Does anyone want to do anything?
Yeah, I'd like to investigate that sword. I like swords. Fritz goes up to the mantelpiece and starts looking at it, but looks at Fujin to say, do you think this is safe? Because Fujin's the rogue. And probably spot a booby trap before Fritz would.
Nah, booby.
See,
We're not very
think
smart,
that.
though, either of us.
But Fujin has a -3 in investigation, so as you look at the sword, Fujin's going to look towards you. It's a nice sword. I'm still cautious about this house, but if that person doesn't need it, I do need a second blade.
You're like,
Well, I might do an investigation then. If
that's a nice longbow with your mind, with your, your 5
the
intelligence.
investigation happening, guys, this isn't a true good paladin or anyone. This is me just literally like, as Tane going like, right. So we saw people in the house upstairs. Like, do you think maybe we should go upstairs and see them before we rob them?
Well,
I think they shouldn't. Well, they did see us approach and left the door unlocked. So life is suffering. They will learn from this hopefully and die sooner.
if this is the house as well, what you saw above were most likely apparitions.
This is true.
All right. Well, I guess go for it. And can I open the door to the north just here and just have a look in?
The door to the north. The one right above you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Open it. You open that door. Beyond that, you can see what appears to be a dining room. And at the centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room, you see a carved mahogany table, surrounded by 8 high-backed chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. A crystal chandelier hangs above the mantel, which is covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware, polished to a dazzling shine. Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. The wall paneling is carved with elegant images of deer among the trees. Red silk drapes cover the windows, and a tapestry depicting the hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing a wolf hangs from an iron rod bolted to the south wall. Let's go back to you, Fritz, as Tane investigates that room. Are you reaching for that longsword?
Well, I did a investigation check and got 10 -2 from exhaustion, so I got 8, which isn't much at all.
Would you like me to check as well to back you up?
That would be great, thank you. Teamwork.
So Thana is going to look at the sword, and so I'm not metagaming, I'm going to justify this. So Thana, knowing that they've been in an area with undead, and Fujin saying that, there might be apparition upstairs, is a little bit on edge. Knowing that, anything dead things touch is probably not great. And is going to do an investigation. I have a -1. This is gonna be great.
You have a -3, actually, thanks to exhaustion.
Yeah, now I'm good. Oh, so I got a 5.
You're like, man,
This sword's great.
it's a nice crossbow.
Yeah.
Fritz is going to look at Fujin and go, do you really want this? You need another blade, don't you?
I mean, my other hand does feel quite empty.
Well,
All right,
why?
I'll get it.
No. Back up. Back it up. Why are you grabbing it for him?
Because I'm nearest.
No.
I'm guarding the staircase.
No. I can guard the staircase. You can.
Okay,
Grab
I'll start walking over.
it. Yes.
Why is she so angry?
I think it's because of what happened outside. I think she's still shaken. And
I
doesn't
don't
want
like
to
that.
do any
That-
moves.
All right.
I'll just reach and grab the sword.
You reach
Bad
towards the sword. I imagine we have a close-up of your hands as it sort of wrap your fingers around the hilt of the sword. And we flash back over to Tane. What are you doing? While this is happening, I imagine we can hear the muffled sound of their arguing in the room beyond as you step into this dining room.
I have a quick look around, and Tane's gonna walk over to the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
If there's wood in there already, like in kindling and stuff, he's actually gonna start a fire.
Yeah, man. You can do that.
So I'll do that. I'll start a fire in the fireplace, and that should light up the room a bit. And then I'm just gonna, walk around and come out the other door.
There you go. Put a light in there for you. And you come back out, and as you... Oh, no, you're moving to a different door. Okay, so as you open that door, you see as Fujin sort of walking towards that longsword. Fujin, you reach over towards it, you grab it by the hilt, and it just slides free of the hooks that are holding it in place, and you're now holding what is a, nicely made longsword with a...
Oh, is it a longsword?
Yeah.
As I pick it up and feel how heavy it is. No. I'm just going to drop it on the floor.
Are you for real life right now?
Yeah, it's heavier than I expected. I haven't held many weapons before.
How unintelligent are you?
I don't know.
Obviously.
If you had to
Oh
put
my
it into
God.
a number, I'd say probably about a 5 out of 20.
Either way, I never fought ghosts or what he said. Like the house was haunted. Well, how do we fight these things? How do we kill them?
Well, it's a bit more complicated than that. So you can't exactly kill them. You're more sending them back. So you're more putting them to rest, if that makes sense. So what we're looking for in terms of your undead disposal methods would be silver. So anything silver, I would recommend we take and melt down and tip our arrows with. We need so any sort of holy symbol. So Tane and I would probably recommend if we're fighting anything that we be up the front. Which now that I say it is a terrible idea because I'm quite squishy. Actually, no, I take it back. I have the most hit points out of everybody. That's really scary. We...
What's a hit point?
All right, so Deadpool goes off on a tangent. Bill, Iron Dancer, what are you doing while this is happening? You hear the clang of that longsword as it hits the ground.
So I think I see Tane come back after he's done his full loop, and he doesn't seem like he's got any cuts on him, so he'll come out of that little area just there and kind of like put his back on a wall.
Essentially, all we need is a little bit of silver, maybe a holy symbol, anything that deals radiant damage, or light, like sunlight, is preferable. But radiant
that
damage...
all sounds well and good. That sounds amazing, but like... There was people upstairs, so I'm just gonna... Hello?
They're probably dead.
Hello?
I don't think they're alive.
Hello? And not unlike when you were at that gate, your voice echoes up the stairway.
Oh, sorry, there was another door here, wasn't there?
I told you, they're
yes.
apparitions. I'll step aside you and we're gonna kill you soon.
Soon, kill you
Well,
soon.
I probably wouldn't tell the undead that you're going to kill them. Just pro tip, they don't normally like that.
They don't get a choice. And I'm gonna go to the south door and open it.
I imagine, Bill, as you're walking into this room, everyone is having a conversation. Do you want to roll a little perception check?
Yeah, because he's looking around, but he's like, I don't know what are they all on about? Like they're already dead. How do you kill the dead?
How do you kill the dead, indeed?
Kill them. We put them to rest.
My
Thana
God.
shouts.
That is a
I'm gonna-
one.
You have a look around
I'm
the
gonna
room,
pick up the sword.
and you're like, "Oh my!" You see something lying on the ground. You're like, "Man, that's a nice warhammer." Fritz,
I look at the sword and be like, imagine the size of the letters they must receive if that's the letter opener.
imagine the bills they're getting. Oh, Fritz, you bend over, you pick up the sword.
Oh, no.
You now have in your possession a nice longsword with a windmill motif
yay.
worked into the pommel. Tane, you go ahead and you open up another door, the door to the northeast,
Correct.
and you open it up into an unexpectedly tidy kitchen with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed on shelves. A work table has a cutting board and a rolling pin atop it. There is a stone dome-shaped oven that stands near the north wall. Its bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling, and the southeast corner of the kitchen features a 2-foot wide dumbwaiter. A tiny brass bell beside the dumbwaiter connects to wires that disappear into the kitchen ceiling. So just to reiterate, northern wall, stove, southern wall, there is a dumbwaiter, and there is a whole bunch of kitchen implements hanging up and on benches around here. But the whole place is neat and tidy. You would say, now you've been in here for long enough and you've done a little bit of looking around, there's not even a hint of dust on any of the furniture.
Right, that's a bit unusual. Right. William, can I get you in? Come in here for a second.
No, sure thing. Yes. Tane, what do you see?
Just, does this room seem a bit weird to you? Like almost like this. And I like rub the table and that. I'm like, there's no scraps or anything, but there's also no dust. It's a bit weird.
Hey.
And also, look at this. And I press the bell on the dumbwaiter and ding it.
Ding, 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 ding. And you hear the bell ringing from the floor above you. You can hear it sort of echoing down the dumbwaiter. Ding, 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 ding.
Fritz's head snaps towards that sound, and he just shakes his head.
Yeah, so does Thana. How many times did you ring the bell, Mod? Just out of curiosity. 3? Damn it!
Why?
Oh, so 3 is a holy number in the Church of Hades.
I was going to say,
help, two sets of 3. I did do 2 sets of 3. Does 6 make it better?
he rang it 666 times. Is that bad? Is that a bad thing? I imagine we sort of see this scene. We hear like close up, ding, 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 and then we go back to that living room. We see Fritz shaking his head, and over his shoulder, we can see Fujin opening up that door to the south. Fujin, yes. When you open that door, you immediately, and I imagine these dancing lights are sort of positioned all around this room, this central hallway. So some of that light filters into the hall as soon as you open that door, and you hear Bright Eyes growl. Fritz, you turn back, you can see him arching his back, his hair stands on end, and you can see him sort of putting himself into this position, like this defensive position, like he's about to get into a fight. Fujin, you look about the room, and you can see that you are in a 20 by 20 foot square room that features a stag's head mounted above a fireplace. Positioned around the room are 3 wolves. Your hand goes towards your scimitar for a second, but you relax when you start to realize that they're all stuffed, taxidermied wolves.
With Fitz and their companion growling, Bright Eyes, I think with the lights, no, it wouldn't be a calm reaction. I'd probably enter the room and instantly stab the one to my side.
So you draw your scimitar, you hear this, Fritz, you hear Bright Eyes start to growl, then you hear the unmistakable sound of a sword being pulled from its sheath, and then like a dull thud, as your scimitar pierces straight through into one of these stuffed wolves. The animal falls down to the ground, and as you pull your scimitar free, you can see like there's a rag hanging on the end of your scimitar, and that's when you realized that they are taxidermied animals. You have a look around the room, you see there's 2 padded chairs draped in animal furs facing the hearth, with an oaken table between them supporting a cask of wine and 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum. A chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table. Surrounded by 4 chairs, 2 cabinets stand against the walls, one against the north wall and one against the western wall. That's what you see.
Well, I'm going to be worried about Bright Eyes because that reaction was quite visceral. So I'm going to try and speak with animals just to see if he's got any indication of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to roll for that? Or is this just an intrinsic?
How long? It's only 10 minutes, isn't it? So you would have to do
it's
another
10 minutes,
casting,
but I've been sitting there for a while.
Yeah,
so I sort of do it whenever we're not doing much.
Okay, so you're using your sort of making that connection with Bright Eyes again.
While they're making that connection and time's going by, I do still trust Bright Eyes and Bright Eyes' animal instinct. I don't know how ghosts work or anything like that. Actually, yeah, could I do, even with my horrible amount, some sort of a history release? Some sort of, I just want to recall information about hauntedness and what I should be keeping an eye out for.
Okay. This will be if you're trying to think about haunts, ghosts and whatnot. I guess that'd be a religion check, probably more than a history check.
Because Fujin was very enclosed with his living, didn't do a lot of learning, and so I don't want to metagame anything.
Yeah. All right. I dig it.
Not too bad on the roll though. An 11. 14 minus 3.
11 on the roll. Yes, you know, maybe from your time spent, it was an academy, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
A mage's brotherhood esque sort of situation, but I was definitely more like just the janitor when I wasn't being tortured.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So when in between torture sessions, you definitely would have overheard a conversation or two. And when it comes to the arcane, necromancy and that kind of thing, it's par for course. So you would have overheard a conversation. At the very least, that hauntings can occur in a number of different ways. Souls that have of people who have passed, but their souls have not been put at rest, can take on a number of different forms depending on the circumstances of their death. Alternatively, the undead can manifest themselves in instances where their life force has been tampered with through the arcane, a la necromancy. Generally speaking, among folklore, hauntings are tied to either specific areas or events, and that kind of thing, because there is some kind of significant emotional attachment to the event or place. I would say that's probably what you can get with an 11 without any more specific information.
Rather than searching the room, then in that case, Fujin is going to take his scimitar and start slashing the throats and faces of the wolves, assuming that they're taxidermied, right?
They are taxidermied, yes, as far as you can tell.
These wolf spirits will not get me, and I'm going to try to kill them before they can animate.
I'm going to walk in and just be like, Fujin, are you all right? What's happening in here?
I found some of the ghosts.
Oh, wow, they look like... Bright Eyes, stay out there. And I asked Bright Eyes to go stay in the other room. He probably won't listen to me, though.
Thana walks in and sort of sees the carnage and is like, "Oh, you sweet summer child, did you think that this would help?"
Ghosts come from the dead. These are dead. I will kill them before they can come back.
Okay, sweetheart, I need to explain something to you very carefully. In order to become a ghost, you need to be sentient. As lovely as Bright Eyes is, and I'm sure very sentient, there's a certain emotional capacity one must possess. Like normally, for example, just a high priest from my cloister, went and dealt with a haunting a couple towns away from us. And it was where a young girl was hung from a tree, and then the tree was knocked down and
Can
a
we
house was
just
built.
stop right there real quick? Just for future reference, let's not bring that up again.
Oh, they need to have a soul.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
What are we looking for then?
So back in the other. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Do we need to take a quick moment, or are we okay to move on?
Oh no, I said, what are we looking for then?
Mm-hmm. Thana?
Well, it's a bit hard to tell. They all sort of manifest differently. It depends on the person. It's very much a personality thing. Some ghosts are benevolent, some are malevolent. It's very dependent.
So if we don't know, we need to look at everything.
And I imagine the room is just an absolute mess. There's like rags all over the place. Wolf fur scattered.
Rather than investigating, because Fujin can't be fucked doing that, he's just going to do a perception check at the cupboards from a distance and see if they look worth investigating.
Yeah, man. You see a couple of cupboards. One on the north wall, one in the western wall. They appear
don't look special, diff-colored or anything. Special key locks.
They're glowing gold. No, they're not. They're just a couple of cabinets, man. There's nothing unusual about them. They don't seem to be locked. They're let me actually double check that before I commit myself to that, because that may be incorrect information. Let me have a look here. Bear with me. That one. Let's have a look, skis. Actually, no, they do appear to be locked. The one on the northern wall has a padlock on it. The one on the western wall does not.
That does intrigue my curiosity then. Okay. I guess we need to look around. And I'll start approaching that one, getting ready to try to hack the lock off. But I'm happy for us to cut over to the other room.
Yeah, let's find out what Tane Nui and Bill Iron Dance are up to. Tane, you open up a door on the northern wall of that kitchen, and it opens up into a well-stocked pantry. To your surprise, you find it's, stocked with dust-free bottles of wine, cheeses, appears to be like preserved meats, all kinds of things, vegetables. Yeah.
William, do any of these wines look good? I saw your house. I figured you might know a good wine when you saw one.
Looking over the labels, does anything stand out?
You start pulling out some of the wine bottles. You notice they're almost all of them are from the same winery. There's various brands of wine from that winery. You see purple grape mash. There's one just labeled red wine. And they're all from a winery called the Wizards of Wine, I believe is what it's called.
Now, is the wine spelled like whining, and it's like pictures of like two dudes just whinging as they drink wine, or is it a pun name? Because I would really enjoy that.
Roll a comedy check, I suppose. Is that in there?
An 18?
An 18? Yeah, no, that's pretty. Does not appear to be a pun. Seems to be the actual name.
I'll make it into a pun.
Of a winery, as far as you can tell. Let me just double check here. I'll get back to you to see if I got the name of that winery correct, but I believe it is. That's what it is.
That's right. And I just say, well, like, do you think we're in the right house? Because, like, I don't think this place is haunted. I'm just going to go upstairs and try and find the people that were up there.
I am correct. It is the Wizard of Wines.
So do you think this is the right house?
I don't think this is the right house at all. This all looks lived in. He mentioned ghosts and whatnot. There's perfectly good food just here. He said it was handed down. It always been haunted. How could this be the house?
Did anyone take any of the wine or food? I should just clarify.
No. I was just looking at them. I figured he needs to look at them to work out the worth of the house if it is the right place.
Okay.
I would grab a bottle of the purple wine.
Okay. Purple grape mash.
I just want to say,
purple grape mash.
Also, in this other room, there's some paintings and shit above the fireplace. That's pretty good.
Speaking of, I've actually Fritz left the room and has actually gone and vomited in a corner, and is just shaking his head because he's never seen anything like wolves before. And we're here looking for Bright Eyes' family. So, he's asked. That's why he said straight away, Bright Eyes, do not come in here. Bright Eyes is over with. They have a very good bond, so Bright Eyes trusts Fritz to protect him. But Fritz is literally crying because he has such a bond with these animals.
Yeah.
So he's actually going to follow the other two into the kitchen and get us. Oh, but you're coming through now. He's going to go into the other room with the fireplace and try and distance himself and his buddy from the animals. But when he walks in there, he sees the picture of people hunting wolves.
Yep.
And that doesn't make him feel much better.
Right. No, listen. Is it the picture? You don't like the picture?
From the description, Fritz looks at the picture and what does he see, Sven?
It's a good question. What do you see? You see, I'm glad you asked. What you see, in fact, is on the picture you see there is well, it's not a picture that you're really worried about. You can see that this dining hall features these mahogany panels that have been intricately carved to depict these scenes of deer running amongst the trees. There is a red silk drapes that cover the windows, and there is a tapestry on the wall that depicts hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf. That's sort of hanging on the eastern wall.
Yeah, so Fritz would be starting to pull it all together, but Fritz isn't very smart, so he's more panicked than knowing what's actually happening. I don't think there's a real check he could do. If anything, it would be a constitution because he's genuinely feeling quite unwell and dizzy, especially with the exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
So Fritz and Bright Eyes are just going to sort of sit at the table and just going to put his head on the table.
I'll give you.
Everyone sort of just knows what to do.
Do you have heroic inspiration?
No.
I'll give you something called a devil's bargain, which I like to do every now and then. I will allow you to roll a wisdom saving throw. And regardless of whether or not you succeed or fail, you'll get heroic inspiration. And if you fail, something might happen.
Okay. So wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. With a -2 for that.
Uh,
Whoa!
21.
Oh, that's
There we
20.
go. All right, very nice. So you succeed. You start to feel overwhelmed by these images, and you see Bright Eyes sort of pad his way over towards that tapestry, sort of looking up with that dog-like innocence. And while you see Bright Eyes like right next to this tapestry, you see that same almost unique sort of pattern of this grey wolf with this sort of dark line that runs along his back and into his tail, and you can immediately see that this is the same breed of wolf, unlike anything that you've seen in your home. And
So
Bright
Fritz
Eyes
just goes.
looks
Yeah,
back
it's not
towards
very
you,
good.
and you can hear a soft whimper.
And I just say to Bright Eyes, "It's okay, buddy. We're here to help. It'll be okay." And we just console each other because he can tell he's not sentient, but he knows what family looks like, and he could smell that something was wrong in that other room. And from Fritz's reaction, he knows that it's not quite safe here. But he does believe Fritz that they'll be okay. So
And then
just need a bit of time. And
in my headcanon, I imagine we cut back to Fujin covered in wolf fur. And sure enough, it's the same sort of unique coloration that we see on Bright Eyes as well. And I think that's a good place to have a quick break as you guys sort of come together in that dining room. For those people who are... Oh, sorry. Yes, Fujin?
Fujin wouldn't be going into the dining room just yet. He was wanting to open that lock.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
happy to go
yeah. No, we. I think we sort of we see you as you're sort of pulling out your thieves' tools, which I imagine you have as a rogue, and that's where we'll cut to a short break. For those people who are new to the channel, please stick with us. We are going to go for a short break. It'll be exactly 10 minutes, and when we come back, we're going to find out whether or not Fujin can pick this lock. And in the meantime, enjoy episode 3 of Spooky Story Time featuring Pumpkin Gemma. We'll be back in exactly 10 minutes, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Be right back.
Hello, welcome to week 3 story time. I'm going to continue reading Dracula. I read last week up to the point where Jonathan had realised that he was a prisoner. He had seen Dracula crawl down a building, which was very creepy. He'd realised that he wasn't eating or drinking, that he didn't have a reflection, that he had some strange habits, and he's just generally not feeling very safe. I was reflecting on whether I would have picked up on the fact that Dracula was a vampire. I think I would have, but I do have the benefit of living in the day and age that we have now, where we have books and movies and different ways of getting information. So I've grown up hearing about vampires, whereas Jonathan hadn't. So I'm going to continue reading from where we were. This is a very interesting part coming up, and yeah, enjoy. Later, the morning of 16th May. God preserve my sanity, for to this I am reduced. Safety and the assurance of safety are things of the past. Whilst I live on here, there is but one thing to hope for, that I may not go mad, if, indeed, I be not mad already. If I be sane, then surely it is maddening to think that of all the foul things that lurk in this hateful place, the Count is the least dreadful to me. For that to him alone I can look for safety, even though this be only whilst I can serve his purpose. Good God, merciful God, let me be calm, for out of that way lies madness indeed. I begin to get new lights on certain things which have puzzled me. Up to now, I never quite knew what Shakespeare meant when he made Hamlet say, "My tablets, quick, my tablets. 'Tis meet that I put it down," etc. For now, feeling as though my own brain were unhinged, or as if the shock had come, which must end in its undoing, I turned to my diary for repose. The habit of entering accurately must help to soothe me. The Count's mysterious warning frightened me at the time. It frightens me more now when I think of it, for in future he has a fearful hold upon me. I shall fear to doubt what he may say. When I had written in my diary and had fortunately replaced the book and pen in my pocket, I felt sleepy. The Count's warning came into my mind, but I took pleasure in disobeying it. The sense of sleep was upon me, and with it the obstinacy which sleep brings as outrider. The soft moonlight soothed, and the wide expanse without gave a sense of freedom which refreshed me. I determined not to return tonight to the gloom-haunted rooms, but to sleep here, where, of old, ladies had sat and sung and lived sweet lives, while their gentle breasts were sad for their menfolk away in the midst of remorseless wars. Okay. I drew a great couch out of its place near the corner, so that as I lay I could look at the lovely view to east and south, and unthinking of and uncaring for the dust, compose myself for sleep. I suppose I must have fallen asleep. I hope so, but I fear for all that followed was startlingly real. So real that sitting now here in broad full sunlight of the morning, I cannot in the least believe that it was all sleep. I was not alone. The room was the same, unchanged in any way since I came into it. I could see along the floor, in the bright moonlight, my own footsteps marked where I disturbed the long accumulation of dust. In the moonlight opposite me were 3 young women, ladies by dress and manner. I thought at the time that I must be dreaming when I saw them, for though the moonlight was behind them, they threw no shadow on the floor. They came close to me and looked at me for some time and then whispered together. 2 were dark and had high aquiline noses like the Count, and great dark piercing eyes that seemed to be almost red when contrasted with the pale yellow moon. The other was fair as can be, with great wavy masses of golden hair and eyes like pale sapphires. I seemed somehow to know her face, and to know it in connection with some dreary fear, but I could not recollect at the moment how or where. All 3 had brilliant white teeth that shone like pearls against the ruby of their voluptuous lips. There was something about them that made me uneasy, some longing, and at the same time some deadly fear. I felt in my heart a wicked, burning desire that they would kiss me with those red lips. It is not good to note this down, lest some day it should meet Mina's eyes and cause her pain. But it is the truth. They whispered together, and then all 3 laughed. Such a silvery, musical laugh, but as hard as though the sound never could have come through the softness of human lips. It was like the intolerable, tingling sweetness of water glasses when played on by a cunning hand. The fair girl shook her head coquettishly, and the other 2 urged her on. One said, "Go on, you're first, and we shall follow. Yours is the right to begin," the other added. "He is young and strong, and there are kisses for us all." I lay quiet, looking out under my eyelashes in an agony of delight and anticipation. The fair girl advanced and bent over me till I could feel the movement of her breath upon me. Sweet as it was in one sense, honey sweet, and sent the same tingling through the nerves as her voice, but with a bitter underlying the sweet, a bitter offensiveness as one smells in blood. I was afraid to raise my eyelids, but looked out and saw perfectly under the lashes. The girl went on her knees and bent over me, simply gloating. There was a deliberate voluptuousness which was both thrilling and repulsive, and as she arched her neck, she actually licked her lips like an animal, till I could see in the moonlight the moisture shining on the scarlet lips and on the red tongue as it lapped the sharp white teeth. Lower and lower went her head as the lips went below the range of my mouth and chin and seemed to fasten on my throat. Then she paused, and I could hear the churning sound of her tongue as it licked her teeth and lips, and I could feel the hot breath on my neck. Then the skin of my throat began to tingle, as one's flesh does when the hand that it is to tickle it approaches nearer and nearer. I could feel the soft, shivering touch of the lips on the super-sensitive skin of my throat, and the hard dents of 2 sharp teeth just touching and pausing there. I closed my eyes in a languorous ecstasy and waited with beating heart. But in that instant, another sensation swept through me as quick as lightning. I was conscious of the presence of the Count and of his being as it lapped into the storm of fury. As my eyes opened involuntarily, I saw his strong hand grasp the slender neck of the fair woman and with giant's power draw it back, the blue eyes transformed with fury, and the white teeth champing with rage, and the fair cheeks blazing red with passion. But the Count... Never did I imagine such wrath and fury even in the demons of the pit. His eyes were positively blazing. The red light in them was lurid, as if the flames of hellfire blazed behind them. His face was deathly pale, and the lines of it were hard like drawn wires. The thick eyebrows met over the nose now seemed like a heaving bar of white-hot metal. With a fierce sweep of his hand, he hurled the woman from him, and then motioned to the others, as though he were beating them back. It was the same imperious gesture he had used to the wolves. In a voice which, though low and almost a whisper, seemed to cut through the air and then ring around the room, he said, "How dare you touch him, any of you? How dare you cast your eyes on him when I had forbidden it? Back, I tell you, this man belongs to me. Beware how you meddle with him, or you'll have to deal with me." Okay, so I realised I did skip a bit at the start, I think, but we've left at a really interesting part of the book. Dracula's just come in and busted his wives, about to do things to Jonathan. It sounds like Jonathan was having some conflicting emotions in that moment. It also sounds like Dracula's really annoyed. I think it's going to be interesting next week to read their reactions to him walking in and saying, "No, you can't do this," and to see how Jonathan feels afterwards and to see what transpires. I read the book recently, but I haven't read, I forget quite quickly, so it's going to be like reading it for the first time. Have a good week, and I'll be back after the break with some of our amazing campaign.
And we're back. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's rendition of I forgot his name, Dracula. Spooky Story Time by Gemma. Thank you very much. I always enjoy those. They're phenomenal. Just wanted to say a quick shout out to Kasubi, not sure how to pronounce that correctly. Please call in for the subscription. I want to say quick shout out to tabletopaudio.com as well for providing the ambience that you can hear in the background. Tabletop Audio for all your ambience needs. And I did promise I was going to read out a comment from every single episode, whether that be from TikTok, YouTube, or the Twitch. This comment that I'm choosing to read out tonight is going to be from the YouTube channel, episode 2 of Beckoned Blackest Night. This one is from the Favored Odds. They said, "Nice show, always a fan of watching or listening to Curse of Strahd." So thank you very much. We appreciate the love. If you have an opportunity, you should check out Favored Odds on YouTube. It is entertaining and also immensely baffling somehow. They do board game reviews and all kinds of things. It's great. So if you have a moment, give them a sub as well. Show them some love. Maybe comment on one of their videos. Because little channels like ours, we need every little bit that we can get to help us grow and build the community. Speaking of community, if you haven't already done so, join us on Discord with the command *Discord right here in the chats. Let's get straight back into it, shall we?
There's also some phonetic wordplay in the chat there for you.
Oh, is there? It's
yeah.
Kusabi. Kusabi.
Kusabi.
Kusabi. Thank you very much, Kusabi. And we appreciate the love. And welcome to the Critverse. Now, when we last left our intrepid heroes, Fujin was reaching towards a cabinet in the...
I've preemptively done the roll for that to save us some time.
How dare you?
24.
No, I'm going to get you to roll it again. No, I'm joking. 24. 24 is good enough.
You got good? Fuck you.
I didn't tell you to roll it, so I could ask you to do it again, but I'm not going to. 24, it's good enough. Too bad you didn't check it for traps beforehand.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't think you did. But that's okay, because in this instance, it's not trapped. Let me just bring up...
Until that happens once, Fujin's probably not going to do that, because he doesn't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I appreciate that. Speaking of which, Jem, did you put Heroic Inspiration in your character sheet?
I think so. Let me
You think
check.
so?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. All right.
Yes, I did. I've got to remember to use it before we have a long rest.
So it was the northern cabinet that was locked. Maybe I said that wrong earlier, but yeah, it's the northern cabinet that was locked.
Was only half paying attention. I was really focused on hacking wolves in game and out of game.
It's always a good time. We're having fun. You pick the lock, you open it up. Inside, you find a heavy crossbow, a light crossbow, a hand crossbow, and 20 bolts.
Cool. Okay. You know what? I might actually. I've been a bit underarmed. Getting weapons on the Sword Coast isn't the easiest. A sell sword doesn't give a lot of money. A lot of the money is probably used to spend on like heals at the end or traveling from town to town. So I'm going to grab that hand crossbow. I still think this is the ghost place. The people here don't need it. And that's the only one that I have proficiency. Actually, I'm pretty sure a light crossbow is a simple weapon, right?
I can bring that up for you if you like, or you...
No, that's okay. I'll double check in a sec, but I'm fairly certain. I'm going to grab the hand crossbow, put it in my waist, light crossbow, put it on my back, and I'll pick up the heavy one to show to the rest of the gang and just show some of the spoils I've found to give that one to someone else.
You're like, check out my longsword.
Simple ranged.
I thought so. Perfect. Yeah, as I'll come out with the heavy one. I found another thing that we can liberate.
Anyone want a heavy crossbow?
Again, it's too heavy for me. And I'll offer it to the party. I'm fairly certain the only two people that probably are going to be able to use it is our ranger and paladin, but I'm
all right,
offering it to the group.
Yeah.
I've already got a sweet sword. Do you want it?
No, this is a heavy crossbow.
No, but I already got a sword. So, Thane, do you want this one?
Yeah, I'll take a large crossbow.
All right,
and I'll put it into my pack.
Tane, add a heavy crossbow to your inventory. Fujin, add the hand and light crossbow. I imagine you're probably hoarding the bolts to yourself.
Yeah.
I honestly, I couldn't give a shit about tracking ammunition, but yes.
I was going to say.
Tracking ammunition.
I was just going to ask, I don't know whether Fitz is smart enough to put two and two together. I might need to do a check, but there was mention before that coding things in silver could be handy.
I was about to
silverware on that table.
Thana makes her way in and sort of starts tapping the plates with her finger, and she picks it up, and she's like, I heard of people biting them to check if they're real metal. Oh, make the accountant do it! And she turns to Bill, and she's like, bite the plates!
My teeth don't know how to tell metal from not metal.
But you're an accountant.
Yes, and put it into a coin and I'll be able to count it.
Could you check if it's metal? Well, it's obviously metal, but could you check if it's silver?
I could tell you there's 8 of them.
Wow, you're a dumbass. Okay. Can I roll a check to see what kind of metal it is?
I mean, I didn't know there was 8. I'm impressed.
Yes. What roll would you do for checking if something is metal? Sorry.
Animal handling.
If it
Roll-
helps you, Sven,
roll
I
an
do know
attack
that
roll.
I do know that stonework done by dwarves is a history check, so
Yeah.
maybe
If it,
or is the same.
if it works for stone, it'll work for metal. It's basically the same thing, right?
To logic it out, I would say that in her time at the cloister, she would have seen a lot of silver weapons since it's the predominant way that you kill sort of like werewolves, vampires, bad things from beyond the grave.
Yeah, so she doesn't even need to check.
Let me have a quick look here. Is there a metalworking kit or anything along those lines?
Metallurgy? I'm pretty sure
there's
I've seen that somewhere. Is that in a book?
As a jeweler's kit.
A jeweler's
Kit
kit?
and metallurgy would be the two ones.
All right. Jeweler's kit and metallurgy. Metallurgy, is that a thing?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's in books I read.
Jeweler's kit and smithy tools.
Smithy
Or
tools.
tinkers, maybe.
I would say if you were proficient with smithing tools, tinker tools, or something along those lines, I would say you could probably roll this with your proficiency. Otherwise, I'd say maybe just an intelligence check to see if you can identify these. I think that's the best way to go about it.
That's fair. Oh, could I argue instead for religion, since I'm a grave cleric and we're brought up? No, seriously, because her whole purpose in life is to kill undead things. And
So
if
this-
like one of the only ways to kill undead things is with silver,
This
Let's have
offer you
training.
gave me, how about I use my best skill instead? Wouldn't your church have like a smith that would probably make that for all the battle people?
yeah.
So it wouldn't just be a regular job that you'd know, it would be a specialized person at the clergy.
Yeah,
Everyone
I'm gonna
would
say
have to do it.
with your rank being level 1, I'm gonna go with an intelligence check. If you want to give
to
me,
be fair,
if you want to give me a heroic inspiration, I'll allow it to be a religion check instead.
Don't have one. And you know what? You know what?
And way to rub it in.
I need to be vindicated for a minute. It was my birthday on Friday, and I asked him for inspiration, and he said no.
Well, I'll tell you what I wanted to do
said no.
beforehand. Here's what I wanted to do. I was actually going to offer Jem another point of heroic inspiration for bringing up the silver thing in the first place. Now, according to the 2024 rules, you can pass that on to someone else. So maybe Jem's feeling generous. She wants to pass on that heroic
yeah,
inspiration.
happy birthday, Grace.
Thank you,
That's
Jen.
all of
And
us.
you can use it.
Caring.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's
I
okay.
just want to say happy birthday, and I hand her a heavy crossbow. There you go.
So,
The fact that Christian and actually me, and we're in the same party.
I'm being way too generous here.
Remember how you promised you said you wouldn't be shooting me down anymore because we were on the same team? Remember that? And
I'm being far too generous, and if anything, that should concern you. So you've got your point of heroic inspiration. I'll allow you to use it and roll a
Can we
religion
both
check.
roll Sven because Fritz and Tana were like at the same time? Like,
Well, let's do
Would you
one at a
change?
time. Let's do one at a time. Let's not
Okay,
take the
alright,
wind out
alright.
of
okay.
Grace's Jawn here. You can roll your religion check
Jawn.
if you wish.
Yay!
Just wait for that to pop up on screen.
yeah, it's just taking forever. So just clarify, I did win the argument, and I am rolling religion.
I can take that away so quickly. You won't
Okay,
even
rolling
you won't even know what
religion.
happened.
Sounds good. Yay! Yay!
Man, that is
Oh
taking
well,
its
that
time,
was
isn't it?
fucking awful. Oh no!
Good use of heroic inspiration.
It's actually -2 from that as well.
Yeah, I know. I roll it again.
Which is a shame
Sorry.
because it was a DC 5.
Happy birthday!
Yay!
Yeah, man, you're pretty sure it's titanium.
Hey, I feel so important.
Well, I'm a noble.
Mm-hmm.
and I got brought up in nobility, so I'd actually know silver. I won't have advantage, but I'm like, I'm gonna double. Do you think it's silver, Thana? Do you think it is, or do you think it's titanium?
She picks it up and she like flicks it and like flips it over. And up until this point, Thana has been like the undisputed expert of undead things and sort of looking around at everyone and not wanting to look lame. She's like, yeah, no, this is silver. It's the silveriest silver I've ever silvered across.
You made that sound dirty.
It was unintentional, I assure you.
I've never silvered something before. Anyway, are we going upstairs now?
Yes, let's go upstairs.
Right, let's go.
All
Can
right.
can I melt down some stuff quickly? How long will that take?
Melt down some stuff.
Right, if you want to put the silverware on the fire, no, you could put it in the pot on
That's
the
what I'm
fire.
gonna do.
All
I'll
right.
put it in
And
a
then
pot
we'll
on the
go
fire
upstairs.
quickly.
By the time we
Yeah.
come back, it should be molten. You should be
Before
sweet.
we move
Yeah.
ahead, I have worked as a fitter. I know what the melding point of a metal is.
Silver's very soft though.
It is soft, but that doesn't change the melting point, unfortunately. You'll need over 700 degrees in order to get it to melt. Anything less than that, you're just going to oxidize it. The
This is a magical
fireplace...
fire.
It's not magic. It's a wood fire. You can take it with you, and if the situation comes up where you can get a flame hot enough to melt this down, I will allow you to do that, but you will need specialist
Fritz,
equipment.
Okay. All right. Oh, so Fritz is like, you get a plate. Do you want a plate? Do you want a plate? Do you want a plate? And we try and take as much as we can.
The paladin.
Pardon?
Give it to the paladin. He's beefy. He can carry the plates.
Tell me, do you want... Take the stuff. We're going to go upstairs. And I start running to the stairs because, like, I can tell we want to get there.
Yeah, like honestly, like I'm with you 100%. Like I understand what you're going for. Like yeah, we're gonna. But like, imagine your embarrassment. We do all this, then you go upstairs and you find out you're stealing from a lovely young maiden that just set the table for an auntie that's about to arrive. Like perhaps we should go see the people in the house before we decide they're worth robbing.
And aunties who's undead. I'm gonna start walking up the staircase.
All
with
right.
both,
We're going
weapons.
to... it sounds like the party has voted. We're going up the stairs. Tane, you have the choice now. Do you want to take some silverware or do you want to leave it here?
If she didn't take the crossbow's on the table with the silverware, and we're going upstairs.
Did anyone take the heavy crossbow, or is that being left behind?
I think
I'll take it. I'm strong.
All right,
Is for
Fritz.
Funnily enough, you need dex for it.
Yeah,
I do
ranged
have
weapons.
dex, yeah.
So feel free to add that into your inventory. Whether or not it's something that you can use, it's probably not going to be better than what you
Yeah.
already have because it does have the
we can
loading
always,
property.
I'm going to pick up everything because Fritz,
Rangers
is
can use it.
we're not very good with money, but we could always sell it or swap it.
Can I use
That's
it?
what I'm thinking.
Oh, I didn't think I could use it. That's why I didn't pick it up.
Who can use it? Me, just
Right.
me.
No.
Anyway,
you can
that's
have
Right.
it.
But
Let's
just a bit of
go.
your proficiency, but yeah.
Right.
All right, talk to me about. We can figure out who has the fucking crossbow later on. Who is leading the party as you're going up the stairs?
I'd say Fujin.
Fujin?
Yeah.
Sounds like Fujin.
I wasn't worried about what weapon I was holding, and when someone's like, their auntie's probably here, I'm like, well, their auntie's dead. And I'm going to start walking up the stairs with scimitar in one hand crossbow in the second hand.
I imagine you're bringing your dancing lights up there as Fujin mounts the stairs because it is darkness inside here.
I'm gonna see Fujin just start sprinting up the stairs, and she's like, "Oh my god, he's going to get himself killed, which is great, but also awful." And then she runs after him.
Okay, so I imagine that puts Thana second in line here. Who would be following Thana? Or
I'm
you...
still pretty slow because I'm not feeling very well.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'd be walking sort of with Bill. So, come on,
If we're doing single file, I'd say Tane's ahead of me.
Yeah, so you'd have to go single file up these stairs. They're fairly narrow.
As I'm walking up the stairs ahead of him, I'd be turning and going, so this accountant thing you're talking about,
You mean my job?
Yes, yeah. What kind of wizard is it exactly?
It's no wizard. My father was the wizard. I'm the accountant.
Well, you know what they say: the apple never falls too far from the tree.
That's true, but I don't know what that has to do with accounting. It's. Do you have an orchid back home? Do you need some finances looked after?
What? No, I just mean like your mother. It's in your blood. And this is all as we're walking up the stairs, Fen. This is
Yeah.
us doing our thing.
Yeah. I just wanted to let that go.
Yeah,
for a
no,
little
that's
bit. I was
right. And
enjoying
I'll
it.
just be like, it's in your blood. Like, is the job like a part-time thing? Like,
It's my career. It's the only thing I've ever been good at.
all right. And as walking up the stairs, he slowly pulls out the parchment with the picture that obviously was a little bit embellished of him like casting fireball with his hand and his shield with this hand and he's like, what? Yeah, like, yeah, no, we've got this.
And
He's trying to piece it together in his head. He's like, but they said he was amazing, the most amazing, powerful wizard they've ever seen. Just that's all in his head.
we cut to a shot of just a pair of boots. Dun dun. As they reach the top of the landing, we pan up. We see Fujin. I haven't moved the map intentionally just yet, just so I can describe what you see. Fujin, as you reach the top, I imagine those dancing lights sort of follow you up almost like a will-o-wisp and then slide into the room as Thana walks up like right behind you. And you come into a 15-foot wide upper hall that features 4 oil lamps hanging solemnly unlit, flanking a pair of carved wooden doors to the north and south. Hanging above a bleak stone mantelpiece is a wood-framed portrait of a man and woman and 2 smiling children. Cradled in the father's arms is a swaddled baby. Standing suits of black armor flank both northern and southern doors. Each one is clutching a wickedly barbed spear and features a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The red marble staircase continues to climb upward to a 3rd floor. A cold draft can be felt coming down the steps as you reach the top of the landing. There is a 3rd unadorned door at the top of the spiral stairs and the northern wall. I'll take you to that map. Boom. You should be able to see your dancing lights in the form of a pair of candles in the room already. It should give you enough light. That's not supposed to be open. I'll close that. There we go. That's what you see.
So just to Pulley D. Reynolds, just to be clear, are we on the top floor?
No, you've climbed up to the 1st floor, so the second, so there's ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor.
Yep.
You are now on the 1st floor, which I like to call the 2nd floor because I'm not a lunatic.
This looks like a human, not a wolf. Obviously, this is the target, so Fujin is going to attack the statue in front of him, or the suit of armor.
And like that Pink Panther movie, like, whatcha? And you smash your scimitar into this standing suit of armor. Clang! Sparks go flying, and the suit of armor goes clattering down to the floor. The helmet rolls by your feet down to the steps, ting, 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 and down the steps. Fritz, you're still at the bottom of the landing, and you just see this helmet shaped like a wolf's head, chung, 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 down the steps and roll to a rest in front of you.
I just shake my head.
One down, and as epic as I can, I'm going to spin across the floor and the carpet and try to attack the one down here as well now.
All right. As Fujin starts to attack the defenseless suits of armor, Thana, you are the second to come up here. What do you want to do?
I think Thana is just watching him in like just completely aghast. I think she didn't realize that this level of stupidity could exist. No, I think she's just watching him like attack the suits of armor and is just kind of trying to like do a perception check on the room to see if the room is like haunted but is distracted by the suits of armor. So she's just kind of standing there like watching him.
As we see Fujin suplex a suit of armor, we cut to you having a look around the room. Roll a perception check for me.
I feel like I should be rolling this at disadvantage.
When she's rolling, I turn to William and I say, when I retell this story, I'm going to say those were enchanted and he like took them out in one hit. Like, it'll
Please
just be part of
do.
that story. Yeah.
Please do.
Isn't that what's already happening?
And you wonder why you have a problem with reality and what's the stories that don't meet your expectations.
Oh my god, I've been rolling like shit! Okay, that's a 4!
Oh my god.
Again, DC5. It was just
Not rolled above a 10 this whole night.
Yeah, no, you
I
see.
kind of want to roll it. I kind of want to roll a dice just to get a nat 20, just so I can sort of stand there and smile. But
Okay, no, do it. Do it. I want you to. No,
I'm
you.
saving it.
You don't think you?
I'm saving it. I'd rather get a nat 1.
Don't
later.
waste your 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't waste.
All right.
But
So
I just turn and I say, listen, the story is more than just the words it is. It inspires. So, anyways.
You know, I was actually hoping to see if there was anything up here, but I'm just so distracted by this display of
Hota! I'm going to move to the third statue.
carnage.
I'm downstairs going, what is happening?
Food
What is happening?
Killing aunties.
Not again!
I can see it and I don't know.
And just to let you know, I can't move my character, so...
yes, it's still paused. I'm just
Okay,
getting
sorry, I can see
narrative
everyone
descriptions.
else moving. That's all right.
I'm like, it's happening again. Tell him it's not real. It's not real.
Yes, because he listens to me.
Good job, Fujin. Go for the neck.
Fujin, it's not real.
As you're talking
They
to me,
are-
I 100% can't hear you because there is the smashing of steel on steel, drowning out any of your normal talking. You can shout at me if you'd like to.
I'm shouting, go for the neck. Go for the neck.
Thana pulls a rock out from her pack and pegs it at him
Sorry.
and sort of hits him in the back of the head.
How many rocks should I account for in your inventory? No, it's, you can pick up a piece of this broken.
Let's just. She's crazy. This bitch is crazy.
I'm
As
in
if she's
combat
not
mode. Can you please roll an attack roll, please?
Look,
Roleplay wise, trying to get his attention.
Christian, don't make her roll. If she hits, it's gonna kill you. She like
You're level 1.
6 of damage plus 3.
You've got 7 points.
As I
That's
get
not
hit
too bad.
the back of the head by something, see, they're attacking back! And I'm going to go for the fourth and final one.
all right,
And to be fair, is she going to hit with a 6?
all right, all right.
You mean a
Fujin,
4?
you've successfully destroyed all of the suits of armor, and you solved the haunted house puzzle. Well done.
I'm hungry.
All
Is
right.
the wicked
Clockwise.
lady hungry? Do you need a nappy wappy?
We
I'm just.
can go to the inn now.
No. Are you hangry?
No,
You need
I'm
a
ready to be
snack.
paid.
That's not how you kill undead. There is no undead in here. Well, there might be. I couldn't check because you were busy slaying inanimate objects.
It's just armor.
Thank you.
You wear it.
Yes, but unlike the wolves, it is humanoid in shape. How do we know that the spirits of them are not inside, or their bodies standing in there?
I can
Do you
promise
see anything inside there?
Yep.
From down the stairs, I'm like, fair point, Fujin. Fair point.
I'm
the
not
same
going
level
to
of
look through the
intelligence.
visor first, stab, then ask questions.
Respectfully, if there was undead in this room, you would be dead first.
Then why are we bothering with this mission?
Because that's not how you go about, oh my god, I can't do this. Can the accountant do the talking?
If
And she sort of pushes Bill in front of her and she's like, we'll let him do the talking. I've had enough. I'm exhausted. I can't deal.
Fujin, if this place is actually haunted, we haven't encountered what is doing the haunting. These is just pieces of armor. I think we need to look. I want to go to the tavern. I need a bath. It's been icky. That mist wasn't good for my pores.
I agree. You do.
What about Pony Soprano? You've been riding Pony Soprano.
Yeah, I've had a mild sweat on. You don't know how hard it is to ride a horse. It's been like this the whole time.
Right, well,
Fine.
we all know that the lights were on the top level. So why don't
Let's
we just
go.
go up to the top level and be like, hey, sorry, we broke all your armor on the bottom floor and stole your sword
your
and your
crossbows.
Can we quickly just check here? I don't like leaving things. It's OCD. And I'm going to walk over to the
Which
one of
door do you prefer?
the doors and just
Was
open
that
it.
Christian or was that Fujin?
I have an entire room of armor!
All right, which door are we checking first?
I'm closest to the north left one, so I'm going to do that. I don't even really want to walk into it. Again, it's due to the laziness. I just want to watch it from the door, but I don't like leaving the door closed.
So, did you say north
This is
left?
OCD of both of us. Furthest north, furthest from the staircase.
Yes, I get you. So the north lefternmost door. I'm gonna pop that one open for you. You can see some of that light filtering in.
Sorry.
And I'll tell you what you see. You see red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall. A rolling wooden ladder allows one to more easily reach the high shelves. So to reiterate, the most dominant feature of this room is a large desk on the northern wall.
Yes, I get it. There's no ghost, just books. I'm gonna walk.
It's a tall, straight thing. Are you going to attack that?
No, I think I might be able to. Fujin, this
I
might
wanna-
be. We might need this room. There might be a
I want to
deed
go check
inside
this.
here.
Yeah,
All right, what are we checking?
the desk.
Yeah. You go first, Fritz, and I'll do. So if you do
I'm not very
desk, I'll
smart,
do.
though. Yeah.
I'll do bookcase then.
All right, so let's
Yeah,
start
I can
with
see
you,
the desk
Fritz.
of papers. Yeah.
Going through the desk, you see on top of the desk there is an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill pen, a tinderbox, and a letter containing a letter kit containing a red wax candle, 4 blank sheets of parchment, and a wooden seal bearing the windmill insignia that you've seen a few times now.
What's the seal made out of?
It's wax.
No, the stamp. What's the stamp made out of?
Liquid
Wood,
silver
silver?
in readily melted form.
Yeah, molten silver. It's gonna become the new I loot the body, and I don't feel bad about it.
You know, for some reason, they didn't add into the source book what the fucking stamp was made out of. The stamp is made out of wood. It's a wooden stamp.
Lick it.
It's a wood stamp.
I'm gonna
That makes
I'm gonna
sense.
pick it up because I think it might. I'm actually really good at like forgery and poisoning and stuff.
Okay.
That might come in handy later.
All right.
And then I want to check in the desk.
Check in the drawer. You slide open
Yeah.
a drawer, and you find that
Damn.
it's empty except for an iron key.
You sure it's not silver? I'm kidding.
I just picked that up and I tell
It's-
everyone I found a key.
Mod, what did you want to say?
One of the most character-driven, iconic moments for my character. I'm gonna look down at the wolf helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that gonna go with my armor? Like, can I put this wolf helmet on?
It'll be a bit mismatched. What are you wearing?
Chainmail.
Chainmail? It'll be a little bit mismatched with what you're wearing. I imagine these are like suits of like black, but they're decorative more than anything else. You can take it if you want.
I want.
Okay. Well, chuck that in your inventory. A decorative black iron helmet. Let's go to you, Bill, with your check. Roll a perception check for me as you look through these bookshelves. This is your thing, man.
Oh,
Books,
it was
reading.
hanging on a 17 too.
My God, do you have
no.
heroic inspiration? If so, do you want to use
I
it?
do.
You can use it.
You know what? I am a human, so I will. Because at
Sounds
least I'll get it
racist.
back tomorrow. Yep, and the gods smite me for being racist.
My God. My gods. If there's anything cool in this campaign, none of you are going to find it. Tell you what you do find, hundreds of tomes covering a range of topics, including history, warfare, and alchemy. There are also several shelves containing first edition collected works of poetry and fiction.
That's helpful. So because I'm new,
Oh, my Discord's playing up. Give me 1 second.
to assume that he's seen everything.
I mean, you see him going through the books, but you do notice that, like, this is like history, warfare, alchemy, poetry. Like, I don't know what Bill's interests are, but like, he grabs one book from the shelf and maybe he's like just lost. Maybe.
Yeah, but maybe there's just like the one standout book that no one, that's the dustiest of them all, and it's the best accounting practices in Barovia.
Yes.
He's like, oh, hello.
Best practice of Barovia, accounting, and poetry. And you see him just get lost in that. But that's how I think that we role play that. So you see him, he grabs one book out of there and he's just like lost.
You can't treat that as a liability. What's that?
They forgot to carry the 7.
While they're staring at just a bunch of books, I'll look at Tane holding the helmet on like the other side of the hallway. You open that door, I'll open this one.
Yeah, sounds good.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Open.
You both open a door simultaneously. Tane, I'll tell you what you see first. You see a sparsely furnished room containing a pair of drab beds topped with straw-stuffed mattresses. At the foot of each bed, you see an unadorned footlocker. Fujin, you open your door. What you see beyond that, gossamer drapes covering the windows of an elegantly appointed hall, which has a base brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. A harpsichord with a bench rests in the northwestern corner. Near the fireplace is a large standing harp. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece. Close. Oh, that's it. Yes.
I'll call out to both Tane and the others. This room has music shit.
All right.
Right.
Anyone want to do anything else while they're here?
What
I
about
wanna
yours,
go-
Tane?
Oh, there's a couple lockers. There's no one here. And a door.
Can I just do a perception check in that room with the harpsichord?
Yes. Roll a perception check for me.
Do it. Perception. Okay.
Ooh.
16 because I've got -2.
My gods, something better than a 10 for once.
I've
Yeah.
got a 23 before.
Yeah, no, that's true. But perception checks have all been absolute garbage so far. It's not
Yeah,
been
true.
good. You make your way into the room. You start looking around, and like your attention is immediately drawn to these like musical instruments that line the room. But then after a moment, your gaze drifts towards the walls and these intricately carved figures. They're clad in these fineries, these beautiful high-end clothes. You can almost start to hear the music in your own head. It's almost like the harpsichord starts to play and these figures start to dance across the room in your mind. You can almost feel the sort of events that would have been hosted in a room like this. And as you're sort of mesmerized by these carvings, they start to take a more sinister appearance as you realize that once you begin to lose focus, like one of those magic books, some of the figures are actually intricately carved skeletons wearing fine clothing. They're not actually people.
And so I run out and go, this place is creepy.
And that you start to put things together. You've been in several rooms now where you've seen these same oak panels, each and every one of them with these finely, intricately carved sort of reliefs in them. And you start to think, is there something more to those ones as well that you may have missed? I'll get you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Bear with me, everybody. I'm using the app on my phone. Due to flooding. Where are we? Wisdom saving throw. You're gonna load. Okay, so that's just if I go saving through wisdom. Oh, I've got +3 to wisdom.
+3 is pretty good.
Oh.
Four.
I'm going to use my heroic inspiration.
All right, use your heroic inspiration. That's what it's there for. It's why I have it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my
10
God.
-2. That's 8.
Unfortunately, an 8 is not enough. But good news, you only take 1 point of psychic damage as you start to realize the maddening effigies of these walls. Your mind starts to collapse in on itself as you start to realize that, you've been passing through all of these beautiful and intricately carved scenes of serenity. What kind of darkness hides behind those scenes? Yeah.
I don't know how to add a point of psychic damage in this.
Just take
you
1
just take
point of damage. Yeah, 1 point of damage.
Oh, so yeah, I'm trying to do it. Yeah. So now I've got 9 hit points left.
9 hit points left, and you're exhausted. You'll live forever. We're having fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, those 2 footlockers are pretty much empty. If you go through them, you just find some.
No, I'm not going through them. I literally footlockers, open the door. Hello, no one here?
Okay, so you don't find the AR-15s.
Nope, don't
No,
find them.
good.
As I said, I believe someone's upstairs. I'm not going to rob them. It's counterintuitive. Like, we're literally going to meet them. It'd be very weird to walk into a room with all their shit.
That makes sense. You do see actually that little wire cord from the dumbwaiter downstairs actually extends into this room that you're in with the footlockers. And in the southwestern wall, there is a wardrobe, and when you open it up, you find just servants' outfits hanging on hooks on the walls.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say servants.
Servants.
Dungeon Master,
Yes.
before we leave this floor, perception is noticing things around you.
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed something, but I'm not sure if Fujin would have noticed it.
Okay.
How do you want to rule it?
Talk to me. What have you noticed?
I have noticed that the depth of the bedroom compared to the depth of the study is not the same.
You have a pretty low intelligence. I'll allow you to roll an intelligence check. I'll even make
disadvantage.
no, just a straight and just a straight. He has enough of a disadvantage as it is. I don't need to. What's the top of that?
Life's his
And I'm going to set it at a fairly low. I'm going to set DC 10.
Oh, 19 natural for a 16.
Oh,
Natural
Finally!
19.
Go team.
Your intelligence. You sort of. I imagine we see this like that picture of The Hangover, where that guy's got all like the numbers floating around his head.
The one thing I'm good at. Bedroom sizes.
You just see Fujin.
I do have like slight claustrophobia with my backstory.
Yes, you do. So this makes sense.
Yep, you notice it.
I dig it. All right. Yeah, no, you notice that the depth of the servants' quarters does not match the depth of the master bedroom. You're not sure what that means. Maybe there's a crawl space behind there or something. Is it a quirk of the architecture? You don't know, but you do notice that there is something.
I'll step past Tane. Come here for a moment, and I'm going to, with the butt of the scimitar, bang on that wall, the north wall, hard.
Yeah. So you make your way into that room, and you're like, dunk, 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 dunk. You're knocking the wall next to you, the one that sort of backs up against those bookcases, and you can feel it's very solid. Dunk, 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 thud, thud, thud. And then you go towards the north wall.
Oh,
Dung, 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 dung. And it feels hollow, like there's something on the other side.
Rats.
Yes, Gemma, did you want to say something?
oh no! I think it's what you call metagaming, so I'm not going to.
Okay. All right. We
There's
could...
rats behind the walls here. This might be where the ghosts are. This room
What?
is smaller than the other. There is a gap in the walls. Look,
And I'm going to like measure out with my arms in like a really dumb way, like span by span, and then do it in the study as well, and show you guys that there's a good like 5 feet of difference in basically an uncharted area of the house.
Did he
Yeah,
also
if-
get caught in the mist?
No, if only we could check those books properly.
All
I
right.
told you there was a very. Do you want me to read it out aloud?
No. I do have another idea. Paladin, and she calls out to Tane.
Thana,
Yeah.
yeah, that's me.
Yep, you. And Fujin, would you mind just assisting me tipping over the bookcase?
Is the bookcase fixed to the wall, or is it one that could be tipped over?
It's fixed to the wall. It's like built, fixed into the wall. Yes.
I have
Oh.
a better idea.
And I'm just gonna start pulling off every book.
Oh, okay. I was gonna cast that. That's okay.
All
That
right.
works too.
So I imagine you spend a little bit of time. You're just pulling out books, left, right, center.
I'll ask the others to come and help me, so I'm not there for minutes. But
No,
yeah.
Thana will run up and help him, and she's like, "This was slightly more undignified than what I was planning, but yes."
Yeah, because I believe there are hundreds of tomes. But, I mean, if you're just doing this with a wild abandon, you're just pulling out books.
It's just on this like 5-foot section of the wall.
Yeah, you're just pulling out books, stuff like that. You're pulling out books. You guys looking at him like he's lost his mind. He's beaten up, suits of armor. He's pulling out books. He's killing stuffed wolves. And then you reach in, you grab one red leather-bound book.
Trust me.
Step back to the wall and start pulling more.
You grab this like red leather-bound book and you pull back on it, and it like chunk. You hear this chunk as you pull back, and you let it go, and it like snaps back into the wall, and you see part of the bookcase slide forward just a touch. And you reach in and you pull open
By Baal, I was right.
a part of the wall, which appears to be a hidden door. I am going to open that up for you. There you go.
Oh, there's a dead body. I finally found one of the dead bodies, guys.
I finally found a body.
Is it a ghost? Is it a ghost or a dead body?
I ran and stabbed him in the chest.
The door to this secret room slides open silently on well-oiled hinges, revealing a slender room dominated by a pair of bookshelves packed with unfamiliar tomes and morbid curios. Leather-bound books are propped on the shelves between fascinating array of skulls, humanoid and otherwise. Rune-carved bones hang from black strips of flesh dangling from the rafters, adding to the sense of claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't like that. Once that settles in after attacking the skeleton, probably going to have an anxiety attack, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
A heavy wooden chest complete with clawed iron feet stands against the eastern wall, its lid half closed.
Ooh,
Jammed
Stephen King.
in the half-closed lid is the remains of a leather-clad human skeleton. The skeleton seems to be clutching a rolled-up piece of parchment in its left hand. What do you do?
I'll stab it in the chest. And then, with no response from it, yes, no?
It's like, oh! No. No, there's no response.
Okay, with no response from it, I'm not going to check anything. I'm going to, like a kid in the dark, quickly step out of the room, turning around.
Okay, it's clear. You're good. I found secrets and stuff. Someone else can check it.
What was inside there?
Oh, tell the shit stuff.
All right, Tane is there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk in and right, there's a fucking skeleton in a chest. Oh, what's this? And I'm gonna grab whatever it's in its hand.
You reach down to the skeleton, and as you approach it with your, dark vision, you're able to see this. You notice 3 little darts in the skeleton's back, jammed in the leather armor. You reach down and you pry open its bony fingers. And you pull out a small piece of parchment. Do you open it up?
Oh yeah, it's got a piece of parchment, and I put my javelin down to read it. So I've just got my lovely. Well, I guess I wouldn't have my shield out at the moment, so I just put that down. I read it. Yep.
All right.
All right.
As you read that note, a couple things are going to happen. I'm going to show you that note, Tane, and I'll get you to read it. That should have opened up for you guys.
Yep.
Right. And let me just zoom out a bit because I'm like missing half the words.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
very
same.
big.
Right. My most pathetic servant. I'm not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I've not come to lead you on a path to immortality. Mr. Durst, however many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you've tortured, and I'll unroll the scroll a little bit more, in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth.
Here's the land.
Blurb to the dramatic. You say that you were cursed, your fortune spent, you abandoned love for the madness. Scroll down a little bit more. Took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a bastard son cursed by darkness. Of that I've no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness, I think not. I much prefer you as you are. And your dreadlord and master, Strahd von Zarovich. Strahd von Zarovich. I'm reading this all out loud. Strahd von Zarovich. William, have you ever seen one of these before? And I hold up the crest of a raven upon a shield / castle thing.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes. I mean, the detail is actually quite exquisite, and you can tell the person who's written this has formal training in handwriting as well. It's interesting. I've never seen this crest though.
And a couple things happen as you read that note. First of all, you feel a shudder as it echoes through the floor and through the walls of the building. You hear the clatter of those bones, those rune-carved bones hanging from those strips of flesh as they vibrate with that shuddering. You hear a grinding somewhere nearby, and you level up.
Hey!
Woot
yeah.
woot!
Does that mean my health repairs itself?
Whatever D&D Beyond says happens is what happens with your health. I can't remember how exactly they do that.
Yay!
You can hear that grinding and that sliding noise coming from somewhere from the floor above, and you level up as you guys reach one of the aforementioned checkpoints. And I think that's a good point to end tonight's episode. I can see you're smiling already, Christian.
I am just really surprised. I didn't realize that was going to be a checkpoint. I was just like, I like architecture and interior design, IRL, and so I saw the space difference, and due to my own DMing and love, I was like, oh, okay, there's a crawl space probably there. Yeah. I never found this. I played Curse of Strahd before. I never found this when I did it the first time.
I think that's worthy of a heroic inspiration point if you want to have one. That's a good notice. You guys were rolling perception checks left, right, and center, and just absolutely dropping the ball with each and every one of them. And I was getting like
all these hidden plots as a dungeon master, and you're like ready to tell us the lore, and we're like, it's a room. It's another room. It's another room.
Yeah.
Listen, I like to end the session knowing that the only roll I did was a comedy check.
Oh, is that the only roll you did? Oh my god, I didn't even realize. I thought I got you to 2 more rolls than that. Oh.
No, I'm proud of this. This is a
very good.
I nailed it.
Yeah.
I did not roll above a 10 this whole session.
I know.
I think I rolled a 6, a 6, and an 8.
You guys were
Your birthday luck.
ice cold. And I was sitting there with all this stuff pre-prepared, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell them this. And you're like, that's a 4. And I'm like, God damn it.
No, I'm happy. I got not only 1 but 2 combat encounters this session.
Yeah. I feel like I should have gotten you to roll initiative.
Yeah,
You leveled up in experience.
The 4 suit of armor he bested and 3 wolves.
He actually lost 7 points of experience. So the rest of you level up, Christian, unfortunately. You're still level 1.
Oh, because we leveled up, I know it's the end of the night, but
Yeah.
quickly, do we want to roll our level 2 hit dice.
I don't know. Do you guys want to roll some hit dice before we finish the night? It's a fun way to finish
I
up.
don't know what that means.
All right. So when we advance from one level to another, you get another hit dice. Now, generally speaking, when you level up on D&D Beyond, it just sort of does it automatically. But I think it's fun if we actually roll some dice. So is it a D10 for a
Different
ranger?
for each class. Yeah.
2d10 monsters.
Yeah, so
for this level, it's just 1 per level, so you'll be doing 1d10 and then add that to your hit points.
yeah, so whatever your hit points now, you roll a d10, and that's the amount of hit points that you gain.
This is where we want to get the good rolls.
This is where we want the good rolls. I did say for those people,
This is what I was saving my heroic inspiration for.
if you have a negative modifier, the least you can get is a 1. I'm not going to take away hit points from you. That's ridiculous. Okay, so the least you can get is a 1.
Mine says max hit point 16, max hit dice 2d10.
Yes, so...
Yeah, 1 for level 1 and a second for level 2.
Oh, okay, so just roll a d10.
Correct. But level 1, Gem, just so you know, everyone gets max of the dice. So you would have gotten just flat 10 for level 1.
Okay, yeah.
Correct.
Oh, that makes sense. Thank you.
It's good to have a bunch of
Alright.
DMs that can explain things for me
Pretty
because
good.
I don't know shit. All right, so let's go across the board here. Just looking at my Discord. Dan, what did you get for your level 2 hit points?
Give me a second. Let's do it I'll do it into chat.
What's
I haven't rolled it
the
yet.
what's the hit dice for accountant?
An accountant is a D6.
Oh, okay.
It's like a wizard.
All right.
Oh, that's what we want to see. 5.
Oh,
Nice.
not too bad. 7. So you go up 7 hit points. Gem, you're next.
Alright, let's roll a d10.
Mm-hmm.
9.
9.
Oh!
My God. All right.
You already had the most hit points as well, so that's crazy.
You guys were saving your good rolls for the end of the night. Grace, you're next.
Do I have to be next?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Cleric is a D8 or a D10?
It's a D8. I've been rolling so badly. I don't even want to.
It's going to change right now.
Let's just send it.
You can do it. It's birthday luck. You
got
can
it.
do
You
it.
got it. You got it. I believe.
It was
I
a 1.
believe in a 9.
You did not get a 1. You
I
did
did.
not get a 1. What's your
Oh.
constitution mod?
My God.
I think it's actually negative.
All right.
Oh, no.
You get 1 hit point. Hey.
Yay.
You live forever. Christian.
Yay. Oh, let me check. I have to check my cons, but I think I am in the negative.
All right. I'll bring that up real quick for
I
you.
definitely know I am. I've got an 8
You
constitution.
can't be in the negative. You got the highest hit points to start, Grace.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I get a +2 to con, I think. So it'd be
Yeah.
3.
3 hit points.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Okay,
We're having
that's
fun.
better than a 1.
I do have a -1. It's a D8, so I really need something high here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm an 8.
7,
I'm an 8.
thank God. Yes, I
Right.
do have heroic inspiration. I'm going to use it because I want to see if I can risk getting an 8 and waste the dice.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I'll allow it.
this is something that could affect the rest of the campaign.
I'll allow it. Because
I
you've
didn't
got
get it,
such
that's fine.
terrible
I
con.
wanted to risk it just in case.
Okay. And
7.
Mod.
I get a D10. So I'll roll that one. And
6.
I want to do the heroic as well.
All right, you do the heroic as well. Why not?
What did you get?
I got a 6.
How many P's have you
Plus
had?
3 is
That's
9.
not horrible.
But that's
He's
better.
using the dice of healing.
Oh,
Better.
there
Oh
we
my
go.
God.
All
I'll
right.
take it.
Hey.
I feel like I've just
All those
encouraged you
stealth
all
checks
just
paid
to
off.
save all of your heroic inspiration for when it comes to rolling for your hit points. But that's okay. If that's the standard I've set, I'm going to have to live with it. That was an amazing session. I know we didn't get into combat again. This is episode 3. Still no combat, but I still feel like that was...
Fujin did.
Fujin did.
Fujin fucked stuff up.
He did.
He fucked everything up. So yeah, good job.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we've reached a milestone here, so that we're really getting into the depths of the story. I'll post an image of that letter as well up on the Discord for everyone to check out if you guys want to have a look at that. People watching at home. Again, we appreciate everyone's support. These episodes are available to watch as well on the YouTube, so make sure you check that out. Like, share, subscribe, follow, ding dong, whatever it is that you need to do on the various platforms. We're on TikTok. You can find us all over the place. So anything you can do to help us would be immensely appreciated. Is there anything anyone else wanted to say before we wrapped up tonight's app?
Can I just, for entertainment and learning purposes,
Yes.
so in D&D Beyond now, when I go to manage, do I put in 19 as my hit points now?
Yes.
So would I have 10 plus 9?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
There you go.
Because I might not be the only newbie.
Hey,
Yes.
I want to give a special shout out to Kasabi, who's been absolutely nailing it in chat with item suggestions and all sorts of gameplay suggestions. And of course, Fizz, who rolled the natural 20 for me sneaking off to get free beer with no one noticing. Also, guys, do check out the Crit and Miss YouTube channel. There will be a new thing coming out in between sessions, between every second session. We're still working that out, called Debriefing Strahd, where we pant Strahd and look at what's behind the curtains and make sure it matches the drapes.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you've watched Nosferatu, you know what you're going to be in for. There's going to be...
Vampire Dong.
I
some-
am so much stronger at level 2.
Ding, ding,
God,
dong.
sorry.
All right, that's okay. No, we can get into a little
We're
bit
all
what
so
you guys...
distracted right now. We are so distracted. I'm gone.
Not even paying attention.
We
I'm
can
leveling up.
we can
Yeah,
catch
just so
up
you
with
know.
what you guys get with your level 2 next episode. I'm looking forward to hearing what you all get. What did you want to say, Mod?
I was going to say, no, that's right. Let's end the session. I'll talk to you guys afterwards. But I had a great time tonight and looking forward to using my new fighting style fleet.
Me too. All right.
Good job, us.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to the players for reaching level 2. It's a hell of a monumental task in any of my streams, as Grace can attest to. I appreciate you all hanging around and indulging me. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe across all of the social media platforms. Check out the YouTube if you want to catch up on those episodes, and always join us on Discord if you have any questions. Make sure you tag me, Crit and Miss, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you all, good night, and we'll see you all again next Monday for episode 4 of Beckoned
Bye.
Blackest Night.
Bye.